Brought to you by WikiVidi documentaries. Snapchat. Snapchat is an image messaging and multimedia mobile application created by Evan Spiegel, Bobby Murphy, and Reggie Brown, former students, at Stanford University, and developed by Snap Incorporated. Originally Snapchat Incorporated. One of the principal concepts of Snapchat is that pictures and messages are only available for a short time before they become inaccessible. The app has evolved from originally focusing on person-to-person photo sharing to presently featuring stories of 24-hour chronological content, along with Discover to let brands show ad-supported short-form entertainment. Snapchat has become notable for representing a new, mobile-first direction for social media, and places significant emphasis on users interacting with virtual stickers and augmented reality objects. As of February 2018, Snapchat has 187 million daily active users. Prototype. According to documents and deposition statements, Reggie Brown brought the idea for a disappearing pictures application to Evan Spiegel, because Spiegel had prior business experience. Brown and Spiegel then pulled in Bobby Murphy, who had experience coding. The three worked closely together for several months, and launched Snapchat as Peekaboo on the iOS operating system on July 8, 2011. Spiegel and Murphy then decided to toss Brown out of the company. The app was relaunched as Snapchat in September 2011, and the team focused on usability and technical aspects, rather than branding efforts. One exception was the decision to keep a mascot designed by Brown, Ghostface Killer, named after Ghostface Killer of the hip-hop group Wu-Tang Clan. On May 8, 2012, Reggie Brown sent an email to Evan Spiegel during their senior year at Stanford in which he offered to renegotiate his equitable share regarding ownership of the company. Lawyers for Snapchat responded by insisting that he had never had any creative connection to the product. The attorneys also accused Brown of committing fraud against Spiegel and Murphy by falsely claiming to be a product inventor on behalf of their clients. The law firm concluded that Reggie Brown had made no contributions of value or worth, and was therefore entitled to a share of nothing. In September 2014, Brown settled with Spiegel and Murphy for $157.5 million and for getting credited as one of the original authors of Snapchat. In their first blog post, dated May 9, 2012, CEO Evan Spiegel described the company's mission. Snapchat isn't about capturing the traditional Kodak moment. It's about communicating with the full range of human emotion, not just what appears to be pretty or perfect. He presented Snapchat as the solution to stresses caused by the longevity of personal information on social media, evidenced by emergency detagging of Facebook photos before job interviews and photoshopping blemishes out of candid shots before they hit the internet. Growth. In May 2012, 25 images were being sent per second and, as of November 28, 2012, users had shared over 1 billion photos on the Snapchat iOS app, with 20 million photos being shared per day. In November 2012, Spiegel cited problems with user-based scalability as the reason why Snapchat was experiencing some difficulties delivering its images, known as snaps, in real time. Snapchat was released as an Android app on October 29, 2012. In June 2013, Snapchat version 5.0, dubbed Banquo, was released for iOS. The updated version introduced several speed and design enhancements, including swipe navigation, double tap to reply, an improved friend finder, and in-app profiles. The name is a reference to the ghostly hero from Shakespeare's Macbeth, a character in the play who is ultimately seen to be victorious over evil. Also in June 2013, Snapchat introduced Snapkids for users under 13 years of age. Snapkids was part of the original Snapchat application and was activated when the user provided a date of birth to verify his/her age. Snapkids allowed children to take snaps and draw on them, but they could not send snaps to other users, and could only save snaps locally on the device being used. According to Snapchat's published statistics, as of May 2015, the app's users were sending 2 billion videos per day, reaching 6 billion by November. By 2016, Snapchat had hit 10 billion daily video views. In May 2016, Snapchat raised $1.81 billion in equity offering, suggesting strong investor interest in the company. By May 31, 2016, the app had almost 10 million daily active users in the United Kingdom. In February 2017, Snapchat had 160 million daily active users, growing to 166 million in May. In September 2016, Snapchat Incorporated was renamed Snap Incorporated along with the introduction of the company's first hardware gadget, Spectacles, a pair of smart glasses with a built-in camera that can record 10 seconds of video at a time. On February 20, 2017, Spectacles became available for purchase online. Core functionality. Snapchat is primarily used for creating multimedia messages referred to as snaps. Snaps can consist of a photo or a short video, and can be edited to include filters and effects, text captions, and drawings. The ability to send video snaps was added as a feature option in December 2012. By holding down on the photo button while inside the app, a video of up to 10 seconds in length can be captured. After a single viewing, the video disappears by default. Spiegel explained that this process allowed the video data to be compressed into the size of a photo. On May 1, 2014, the ability to communicate via video chat was added. Direct messaging features were also included in the update, allowing users to send ephemeral text messages to friends and family while saving any needed information by clicking on it. A feature known as geo-filters was added in July 2014, which allows special graphical overlays to be available if the user is within a certain geographical location, such as a city, event, or destination. Snapchat users can design and submit their own geo-filters to be used on the app. The Lens feature, introduced in September 2015, allows users to add real-time effects into their snaps by using face detection technology. This is activated by long pressing on a face within the viewfinder. In April 2017, Snapchat extended this feature into World Lenses, which use augmented reality technology to integrate 3D rendered elements into scenes. These elements are placed and anchored in 3D space. Snaps can be directed privately to selected contacts, or to a semi-public story. The private message photo snaps can be viewed for a user-specified length of time before they become inaccessible. Users were previously required to hold down on the screen in order to view a snap. This behavior was removed in July 2015. The requirement to hold on the screen was intended to frustrate the ability to take screenshots of snaps. The Snapchat app does not prevent screenshots from being taken, but can notify the sender if it detects that it has been saved. However, these notifications can be bypassed through either unauthorized modifications to the app or by obtaining the image through external means. One snap per day can be replayed for free. In September 2015, Snapchat introduced the option to purchase additional replays through in-app purchases. The ability to purchase extra replays was removed in April 2016. Friends can be added via usernames and phone contacts, using customizable snap codes, or through the Add Nearby function, which scans for users near their location who are also in the Add Nearby menu. Spiegel explained that Snapchat is intended to counteract the trend of users being compelled to manage an idealized online identity of themselves, which he says has taken all of the fun out of communicating. In November 2014, Snapchat introduced Snapcash, a feature that lets users send and receive money to each other through private messaging. The payments system is powered by Square. In July 2016, Snapchat introduced a new, optional feature known as Memories. Memories allows snaps and story posts to be saved into a private storage area, where they can be viewed alongside other photos stored on the device, as well as edited and published as snaps, story posts, or messages. When shared to a user's current story, the memory would have a white frame and timestamp to indicate its age. Content in the memory storage area can be searched by date or using a local object recognition system. Snaps accessible within memories can additionally be placed into a My eyes only, area that is locked with a pin. Snapchat has stated that the Memories feature was inspired by the practice of manually scrolling through photos on a phone to show them to others. In April 2017, the white border around old memories was removed. While originally intended to let viewers know the material was old, TechCrunch wrote that the indicator ended up annoying users who didn't want their snaps altered, sometimes to the point where they would decide not to share the old content at all. July 2016 also marked Snapchat's acquisition of Bitstrips and its app Bitmoji, which allows users to design stickers featuring personalized cartoon avatars. At this time, Snapchat launched integration between Bitmoji and Snapchat, allowing users to link their accounts and use Bitmoji stickers within snaps and messages. Bitmoji characters can also be used as world lenses. In August 2016, Snapchat launched GeoStickers, a feature that lets users send city-specific stickers in snaps and messages. Original launch cities were San Francisco, Los Angeles, New York, Washington, D.C., Honolulu, London, Sydney, Sao Paulo, Paris, and Riyadh. In May 2017, an update made it possible to send snaps with unlimited viewing time, dropping the previous 10-second maximum duration, with the content disappearing after being deliberately closed by the recipient. New creative tools, namely the ability to draw with an emoji, videos that play in a loop, and an eraser that lets users remove objects in a photo with the app filling in the space with the background, were also released. In June 2017, Snapchat started allowing users to add links to snaps, enabling them to direct viewers to specific websites. The feature was only available for brands previously. Additionally, the update added more creative tools. A backdrop feature lets users cut out a specific object from their photo and apply colorful patterns to it in order to bring greater emphasis to that object, and voice filters enable users to remix the sounds of their voices in the snap. Voice filters was previously available as part of the feature enabling augmented reality lenses, with the new update adding a dedicated speaker icon to remix the audio in any snap. Stories and Discover. In October 2013, Snapchat introduced the My Story feature, which allows users to compile snaps into chronological storylines, accessible to all their friends. By June 2014, photo and video snaps presented to friends in the Stories functionality had surpassed person-to-person private snaps as the most frequently used function of the service, with over 1 billion viewed per day, double the daily views tallied in April 2014. In June 2014, the Story feature was expanded to incorporate Our Stories, which was then changed to Live Stories about a year later. The feature allows users on location at specific events to contribute snaps to a curated story advertised to all users, showcasing a single event from multiple perspectives and viewpoints. These curated snaps provided by the app's contributors and selected for the Live section can also be more localized. But Snapchat eventually scaled back the more personal imaging streams in order to emphasize public events. An official stories designation was added in November 2015 to denote the public stories of notable figures and celebrities, similar to Twitter's verified account program. In January 2015, Snapchat introduced Discover, an area containing channels of ad-supported short-form content from major publishers, including BuzzFeed, CNN, ESPN, Mashable, People, Vice and Snapchat itself among others. To address data usage concerns related to these functions, a travel mode option was added in August 2015. When activated, the feature prevents the automatic downloading of snaps until they are explicitly requested by the user. In October 2016, the app was updated to replace its Auto Advance functionality, which automatically moved users from one story to the next, with a story playlist feature, letting users select thumbnails of users in the list to play only selected stories. In January 2017, Snapchat revamped its design, adding search functionality and a new global Live Our Story feature, to which any user can contribute. In May 2017, Snapchat introduced Custom stories, letting users collaboratively make stories combining their captures. In June 2017, Snap Map was introduced, which allows users to optionally share their location with friends. A map display, accessible from the viewfinder, can be used to locate stories based on location data, supporting the use of Bitmoji as place markers. Entering a ghost mode hides the user from the map. The function is based on the app Zenly, which was acquired by Snap Incorporated prior to its launch. The map data is supplied from OpenStreetMap and Mapbox, while satellite imagery comes from Digital Globe. Original video content. The Wall Street Journal reported in May 2017 that Snap Incorporated, the company developing Snapchat, had signed deals with Universal, A&E Networks, BBC, ABC, Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer and other content producers to develop original shows for viewing through Snapchat's Stories format. According to the report, Snap hopes to have several new shows available on a daily basis, with each show lasting between 3 and 5 minutes, and the company has sent out detailed reports to its partners on how to produce content for Snapchat. Messaging. In contrast to other messaging apps, Spiegel described Snapchat's messaging functions as being conversational, rather than transactional, as they sought to replicate the conversations he engaged in with friends. Spiegel stated that he did not experience conversational interactions while using the products of competitors like iMessage. Rather than a traditional online notification, a blue pulsing "Here" button is displayed within the sender's chat window if the recipient is currently viewing their own chat window. When this button is held down, a video chat function is immediately launched. By default, messages disappear after they are read, and a notification is sent to the recipient only when they start to type. Users can also use messages to reply to snaps that are part of a story. The video chat feature uses technology from AdLive, a real-time communications provider that Snapchat acquired prior to the feature's launch. In regards to the "Here" indicator, Spiegel explained that the accepted notion of an online indicator that every chat service has is really a negative indicator. It means my friend is available and doesn't want to talk to you, versus this idea in Snapchat where my friend is here and is giving you their full attention. Spiegel further claimed that the Here video function prevents the awkwardness that can arise from apps that use typing indicators because, with text communication, conversations lose their fluidity as each user tries to avoid typing at the same time. On March 29, 2016, Snapchat launched a major revision of the messaging functionality known as Chat 2.0, adding stickers, easier access to audio and video conferencing, the ability to leave audio or video notes, and the ability to share recent camera photos. The implementation of these features are meant to allow users to easily shift between text, audio, and video chat as needed while retaining an equal level of functionality. Demographics. From its earliest days, Snapchat's main demographic has consisted of millennials. In 2014, researchers from the University of Washington and Seattle Pacific University designed a user survey to help understand how and why the application was being used. The researchers originally hypothesized that due to the ephemeral nature of Snapchat messages, its use would be predominantly for privacy-sensitive content, including the much-talked-about potential use for sexual content and sexting. However, it appears that Snapchat is used for a variety of creative purposes that are not necessarily privacy-related at all. In the study, only 1.6% of respondents reported using Snapchat primarily for sexting, although 14.2% admitted to having sent sexual content via Snapchat at some point. These findings suggest that users do not seem to utilize Snapchat for sensitive content. Rather, the primary use for Snapchat was found to be for comedic content such as stupid faces, with 59.8% of respondents reporting this use most commonly. The researchers also determined how Snapchat users do not use the application and what types of content they are not willing to send. They found that the majority of users are not willing to send content classified as sexting, photos of documents, messages containing legally questionable content, or content considered mean or insulting. The study results also suggested that Snapchat's success is not due to its security properties, but because the users found the application to be fun. The researchers found that users seem to be well aware that recovering snaps is possible, and a majority of users report that this does not affect their behavior and use of Snapchat. Most users were found to use an arbitrary timeout length on snaps regardless of the content type or recipient. The remaining respondents were found to adjust their snaps timeout depending on the content or the recipient. Reasons for adjusting the time length of snaps included the level of trust and relationship with the recipient, the time needed to comprehend the snap, and avoiding screenshots. Brought to you by WikiVidi documentaries. Would you like to know more?